Alright, so I'm a little tired, it's a little late, so if I sound a little groggy or I slur my speech more than usual, ironically, slur my speech is one of the hardest things to say when you're tired. Either way, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna try to talk about this DLC here. What's it called? Hour of Darkness? Hours of Darkness? No matter what, we're gonna be calling it a couple hours of darkness. You see, Far Cry 5 is a great game, but one of the things I said about it is that there's nothing to play for. What the game needed was an expansive list of weapons, gadgets, toys, and tools that you can play with if you go out and earn enough money to buy them. I have a ton of money in Far Cry 5, or I did before I blew it all on random attachments, but I mean, I had a ton of money, and then I was like, oh, they added the M9, and so I bought the M9, and I played with the M9 for a little bit. The game needed so much more, because there needs to be a reason for me to play. I don't go into pretty open world games and just shoot the shit for a while. You know, I need something to play for. I need a progression system. I need something that values my time, because, you know, I can go kill 1,000,000 animals and skin them and sell 1,000,000 skins and come out with $1 million, and that's fine, but if I have nothing I want to buy with it, and it's kind of useless, so it's not worth my time to play it. Far Cry 5's story also felt a little bit rushed and a little bit unpolished, unrefined, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. But I was really excited when Couple Hours of Darkness was going to come out, because Vietnam is just a setting I want more games to go to, but they don't. In fact, I hope the next Battlefield after Battlefield 5 is Vietnam, and if not that, maybe Call of Duty, but I don't think Infinity Ward would make a good Vietnam game. Maybe they would. Maybe they'd prove me wrong on that. Hell, if Medal of Honor came back and did a Vietnam game, that'd be pretty sweet, actually. Either way, I don't get enough Vietnam in my video game, so the thought of a Far Cry game that takes place in the jungles of Nam was pretty cool. So I played it a little bit, and then I joined my friend's game later that night, and that's the gameplay you're seeing now, and we goofed around, and we're just kind of, you know, shooting people and messing around, and before we knew it, we had reached the credits of the game, and without even trying, we did 73%. We missed a couple of collectibles, and I think one prisoner and maybe one base. And the base we missed, I think I got when I was playing by myself earlier. So the game starts you off, it's dark, it's gritty, it's kind of, you know, weird greenish filter. In fact, in this video, I think right here, I'm gonna turn down the green a little bit, maybe make it look a little less pukey. But it's pretty dark and dire, but as you play through the story, the sun slowly comes up, and then it's daytime, and it actually looks really nice out. It's really cool to look at once you finally, you know, get to daytime. Well, after you get through daytime, you hold off a base from some Charlie, and then they kind of, you know, you shoot them from a helicopter, and then it's over and roll credits. And then my friend said he couldn't start up like a continue, like he had to click new game and nothing else. So maybe that was just his end, maybe he missed something. You guys can check that out and let people know in the comments section. But if you can't, after beating it, go back and play around in the open world when it's not all dark and pukey looking, that's super unfortunate and a huge waste of resources. The DLC feels like a speed run. When you beat it, it tells you like the amount of things you did and the percentage you got on what difficulty. I'm like, God, you know, partly I just kind of wanted like Far Cry Blood Dragon, something smaller than Blood Dragon. I know it's not going to be its own standalone type of game, but something just a bit smaller than that, but, you know, Vietnam centered. So I'm thinking, you know, we have a solid open world Vietnam experience, and that's not really the case. Now, the new weapons they added were nice. The M16, the Dragunov, and the different version of the 1911, the different version of the M60. There's something else I think they added. AK-47 and MP40 were already in the game. Dragunov, M16. Oh, that's right, they added a shotgun. They added like an old style shotgun. There we go. That's about it. There aren't like a lot of toys, and you get like 2 uniforms at the end of it, and they're just basically like an American GI and a Vietnamese soldier. It's cool you can go into the main Far Cry game with an M16, like, you know, original classic M16 and a Dragunov, and I think that's pretty cool. But really, it did nothing to, you know, capitalize on Vietnam. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's more to it than I've than I've noticed from today, but good lord, my initial impressions is that it's very small. It's very small, it's very short, so if you are buying it, try to get some sort of open world Vietnam experience, I don't think you're gonna find it here. I don't think there's any place to like buy helicopters, you know, fly helicopters and do like strafing runs on shit. I don't think there's any planes you can fly. I haven't seen any. If there are, that's weird. There aren't a ton of new weapons. There's just only a small handful. And the main little story is incredibly short, like incredibly short. So, do we have an open world Vietnam shooter finally? No, I don't think so. It gives you some agency over where you want to go and when you want to go there. But you're not getting an open world Vietnam experience in the same way as like Blood Dragon or Far Cry 3 or 2 for that matter. Let's talk about the big positive though. Big positive here at the end is it feels like a survival game. You don't have all the toys and doodads, so you're pretty exposed, and me and my friend were playing it on normal, and we went down quickly. Snipers take your health down to nothing in one shot and one extra bullet and you're down forever. Well, you're down until you're picked up, I guess. But you just feel like your health is low and like you're vulnerable and there's not that much ammo and you constantly need to be scavenging for weapons, and playing that on anything harder than normal is actually going to be quite the challenge, and they will overwhelm you and everything's against you. It's a great way to put it. Everything in this DLC is out to get you. You do not have allies except for the airstrikes you can call in, but you can only call those in if you take out the AA guns. Either way, I look forward to playing it a bit more and exploring it a little bit deeper, and if my opinions changed from that, I'll make a video. If you don't see another video about this, it's because my initial impressions summarize the rest of the game. Obviously, it's just a DLC, it's not supposed to be a main game, but I was hoping it would be a little bit more substantive, like not just like a little thing you rush through. Is that the right word? Whatever. But not just something you rush through, not just something you speed run through. It's something you actually sit and you can play, almost as a type of alternative to the normal Far Cry 5 experience. I don't think it checks any of those boxes, but I like that it's a little bit difficult. I like that everything's against you and it feels like a survival game. But to me, it's not that replayable, and there's not that many new mechanics. Actually, I think there's no new mechanics in it at all. So yeah, I give it a solid 5. It's a DLC. It's like average. It's like, you know, fine, whatever. And again, my scale is 1 is unplayable, 5 is okay, average, fine, and then 10 is so close to perfect, it's basically perfect. So don't buy this thinking that you're basically getting Blood Dragon but in Vietnam. You're not. I promise you, you are not. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I really have to say about it, guys. I'm sorry, there's not much to touch on here. It's a little unfortunate. See ya. It is so hard to aim. Oh, fuck. Oh. They palm-nade us. Well, I can shoot out your side. I can just shoot you.